Welcome to using HeroLAB. Hopefully you recognize that using HeroLAB is an easier way to play everything. Whether you're talking about Dungeons and Dragons or Shadowrun or even the Mastermind. How many of us remember all the little intricate details of math and what powers are allowed versus which ones aren't? So instead of showing you all of them, I'm going to just show you one of them, the coolest one I find, Mutants and Mastermind. Now, why is that? Well, Mutants and Mastermind is My Hero Academia meets X-Men meets DC Universe without the need for witchcraft, which sometimes can suck. Okay, I'll be more professional in the future. So as you can see here, Mutants and Mastermind, 3rd edition. Click load again, load. Automatically right now what you're seeing is everything that you need. The Cosmic Handbook is downloaded, the gadgets, the hero hind. It starts off with your standard power level 10 at 15 points. Now, why is this good? Well, if you're going to be the game master or storyteller in this case, this will allow for you, this will allow for you to figure out how high you want your player character's powers to be. Now, why is this important? Well, too low, and they have no abilities, and that means you're always upgrading them. Too high, and they come in as god figures, and there's no way you can actually beat them, especially if you're dealing with a group that's actually inventive and creative when it comes down to using the stuff. That means in using Mutants and Masterminds, yes, you can get people who are just noobs, and that's perfectly fine. But you really want to get people who have one, an imagination, two, an extensive background in either comics or anime, or three, plays a lot of video games. Otherwise, they may not enjoy it as much. So, when you start off, this is how you start off. It's create a PC, normal hero, there's not a construct because it's me. Well, if you want to create something that's a construct, it's such as maybe a human person. This is a normal hero. Otherwise, you'd be talking about like boats, ships, robots. So it's set for that. Click here. Let's say power level 5. It gives them starting points of 25. And you click OK. Bada boom, bada bang. Now, this is all different to this. Which you take a look. You have your abilities and your skills automatically rated. The default, what they can carry, body, armor, weapons. Now, see, here's the only problem with HeroLAB, is that you're not allowed to create armor or you're not allowed to create weapons and send it to your players and have it integrated into the system, which is something they're seriously lacking. But that's something that they need to fix. So, some people are like, I want her to be really strong. Okay. Agility is important. Maybe because of how they have to do checks and stuff like that. And if you notice, when you upgrade your agility, we actually upgrade also your initiative. This is where the characters roll. How good they are at fighting. Their awareness. So that means if they want to talk about how they sense things, ask the storyteller. And what's really nice about using HeroLAB to try to figure this out on your own, the information is already there for you. It tells you exactly what you're talking about. And it's intuitive in a fantastic way. But this is the basic stuff. Now you can raise each one of these by themselves. But remember, the person only has 75 points to work with, and each one of these takes 2 points. So, show you intelligence. Notice how it goes up by 2? But this isn't what you really look for, is it? This is what you're looking for. Powers. Oh yeah, this bad boy is beautiful. Click on add new powers. You see this? Everything is here that you can think of. Now, granted, there's sometimes you have to be able to just a tad bit more creative in how it works out. But let's say you want to be Magneto, and you say, cool, I want Magneto's powers. And you come down to, well, Magneto, right? Okay, so magnetic blast. We remember that. That's cool. So I'll say add. Okay, what's next? Well, you don't always want to scroll all the way down. So click mag. and type that in. As you can see, we have the whole thing here, right? So we have seizure, magnetic scans, magnetic repulsion, magnetic shields, magnetizing things. You can turn into magnetic energy and go from one spot to another spot, which is fantastic when it talks about teleportation. In fact, if you ever read X-Men comics, Magneto has done this once or twice in X-Men Future Tales. You got railgun, which is important, and shaped metal. Now, the thing is, what you're really looking for is this right here. Ferrokinesis. Well, why is that? Well, we're talking about the idea of manipulating ferrometals. And so it's ferrokinesis. That's what you actually want as the ground breaker. So you saw it? Okay, cool. Ferrokinesis. Alright? So every time you do a power rank, it's 2 power ranks for 1. So watch this. 22, 75, and click. It takes up 2 points. Now, what does this mean? Well, I can move 200 pounds of ferrous metal. So I can't be able to move, for example, gold. Has very low ability to do that. I won't be able to move wood. But if I want to turn around and strip down a person who's wearing a 200-pound armor, yeah, there we go. Now, what's really nice about this is you can limit the materials and actually add to this. You can increase range, it's already set, but maybe you want to say, you know what, I want to also increase mass. There's a way you can do that specifically. Increase mass. So you add and close. Right now, I can spend an extra power point and go up. Now it's at 800 pounds, but maybe I don't want to spend a whole 2 points to increase everything. I just want to increase mass. So look, 24, increase mass, 25, 1,600 pounds. 1,300 pounds, 3 tons, 6 tons, 12 tons, 25 tons, 50 tons, 100 tons, 200 tons, 400 tons, 800 tons, 1,600 tons, 3.2 kilotons. Okay, this is what we're talking about moving the Empire State Building. But by doing this, it allows for you to choose only the increased mass and not everything else that's connected to this. You say add. So we have here magnetic blast and we have ferrokinesis. Pretty cool. Now let's see, you want to add the rest of Magneto's powers. Right? Now all these things are part of what has the word magnetic in it in some form or fashion. So maybe it's electromagnetic flight. Well, isn't that what Magneto uses? But you also have magnetic flight. So I click this, and it shows you 4 miles per hour, 60 foot around. This is perfect. And it's subtle. You want this to be like, there's no outer aura, it's undetectable by anything. But I want to go faster. So let's say 8 miles per hour, 120 feet per round. So now let's see if we can add range. Well, again, we're going to go right here and go to, oh, there's also levitation. Straight up and down. So let's add that. Now, if you add, it's going to close it. You add and close. So let's say we want to add levitation. And then we want to say, you know what? You can also move this way underwater. And increase range. We say add. So we say close. So now we have all these things. Now automatically, because you're at level 2, everything else here is at level 2. But let's say, you know what, I just want to increase the range. Now why can't I go further? Well, because you're only at level 2 here, and the range can only be level 2 here. So right now, 8 miles, 120 feet. Levitation, increase range by 2. 2 squares. So let's increase that. Alright, 30 miles per hour, 500 feet. Click add, you're done. Now, why is that? Well, because you have the points that you also may say, you know what, I want my character to have certain skills. I want them to be, close combat, yep. So that when I have to do a quick hand grab of someone. And because of the fact that he's magnetic, I want stealth. Now, why you may say you want stealth? Well, don't worry. Click here, and it explains exactly why stealth is important. So you click, you know what? It already has a base of 3 because of the intelligence over there, or agility. So we're going to go up to 5, 7. Now there's one other thing. I'm thinking Magneto all day long. What's he going to do? Take things from people without them noticing it. Sleight of hand. Oh yeah. We're going to make Magneto, this version of Magneto, a straight up thief. Now, as you can see, 57, 55. Maybe you want to add an equipment. Now let's be realistic. Magneto never needed equipment. But if he was going to have equipment, what do you think he would have? Me personally, I'm thinking something like a sword. Oh, it's not there, is it? Now why is that? Well, because not everything is an equipment, nor should it be here. So where would you find something like a sword? Well, go back to powers. Go to add, type in sword. And there you go. Because of why? Well, there's other things to it. It's a gadget. There's strength base, slashing at 20, add new powers. Now, did you notice that there? Add new powers. Now, imagine if you had the ability to have some of the powers connected to the swords, and what you can do with that. So, we have this ability. Sorry, I left my mouse. Click add. Now he has a sword, something that can be removed, something that can be damaged, and also broken. Now, here's the thing about HeroLAB. It reminds you of things that you're supposed to have, like complications. Let's say your character has some deep background. Like, for example, he has a motivation, he wants to be recognized. So you'll play your character to be exactly that, always a hero, always standing up. So we're going to say, you know what, he has a recognition issue. And maybe, let's say, he has a hatred towards anybody who eats oatmeal. Because you should always have a hatred for anybody who eats oatmeal. Now, you have a personal. Well, how old is he? 25? Let's go with just around the statistical average. He works out, so he's about 195 pounds. If you want to add the details, a picture you want to go to, personal details. Maybe his background, his past. Journal, maybe the days you played, how well you played, things that you made no so wrong. These are your specials. So right now we can move an object with a 20 crit 300 times, so it tells you that. I can throw currently right now 800 pounds at 6 feet, 200 pounds at 30 feet, 500 pounds at 120 feet. Now that's because of the character's abilities. His base speed is 2 miles per hour, 30 feet. So when you think about how you're playing on a square, each square being 5 feet, he's able to move within a radius of 6 of those. However, if he's flying, that changes. That's 60 feet now. And remember, we also added on one other thing. What was that? Levitation. He has a thing for recognition. He has a hate for people who eat oatmeal. He can do a regular jump. And then he has his top speed of flying. Then here are his abilities. You say, you know what? I like this. This is good. Now, here's a really cool thing about why you want to play with HeroLAB. As you're playing along, let's say, for example, your character is knocked out or demoralized for some reason. You can put these kind of things in there. You can say, oh yeah, you know what? My DC ran against the other person. There's a degree of difference. So John runs his Cyclops character. He does a optic blast of, let's say, 25. In order for my character to defend against it, it would only roll a 20. And it's a 5 degree difference per one. So 2 degrees down, my butt is staggered. And you might put this in. Your storyteller, you want to give out hero points when you work together. Just kind of a nice reward as, hey, you're doing right, keep up the good work. And then anything you have to adjust. Now, for example, for some reason, you paralyze someone, or you transform them. No. This, again, is all up to you as a storyteller and what your characters do. But this is the cool thing. This is what HeroLAB is. No, this is just one example. I'll show you some more in the future. But here's the point. Do I recommend buying HeroLAB? If you're going to get into D&D, if you're going to get into Mutants and Mastermind, or any of the other tabletop RPGs that's available on the system, the answer is yes. Save yourself time, save yourself frustration. You don't need to know all the ins and outs. This is going to make it easier for you and for the people you're playing with. The price is kind of steep. It's about $80, but trust me, the price is worth it. Hope this helps. And if you have any questions, please leave it below. And don't click subscribe. I don't care. Have a good day.